Hello, everyone, and welcome. Let's go ahead and start a mindfulness practice. And today we'll start maybe with the breath. We'll kind of investigate that as an anchor again, and then we'll move on to another anchor, and we'll use soundscape today. So please find yourself a comfortable yet alert position. It might be sitting with your feet on the ground, your body supported by a chair, and it could be standing with your knees bent if that's best for you, or it could be lying down, maybe with your knees supported. Walking, we will talk about walking meditation too in the coming weeks, and that can also work for some people too. Mhm. It can work for all of us, but I guess my point is there's no hierarchy of where you need to be when you practice mindfulness. It can be done in any of these four positions. I think the walking one can really work for some people, but sometimes we need a special training to go along with it. So that'll be coming up. So right now, make yourself comfortable, probably in a stationary position where you feel supported, where you feel at ease, but you feel alert. So if you're tired right now and you lie down and you think you might fall asleep, then maybe choose a sitting position. If lying down is best for you, but you could fall asleep, remember you can always put one arm in the air and then switch it when that arm gets tired and then go to the other arm because if your arm falls down, it's going to wake you up. So just a little technique. And I've used it too when I've been in places where I needed to lie down because it was the best position for my back, but I didn't want to fall asleep and I knew it was a possibility. So it was really helpful. So finding your position for today's mindfulness practice, you can close your eyes or just lower your gaze if that's best for you. Notice what's right here for you in this experience. Let yourself just be as you are. Let's take a couple deep breaths. A nice deep breath in. Maybe a pause at the top if that feels right. And then a slow exhalation. And one more nice deep breath in. Maybe a pause at the top. And then a slow exhalation. And let yourself just return to natural breathing. Your body knows how to breathe. There's nothing you need to do to alter it. Let your breath be as natural as it can be. As best you can, turn your attention to your breath. You can put a hand on your chest or your belly if you like. Noticing each breath and sensing how that chest rises when you inhale and lowers when you exhale. Trying not to alter the breath, letting it be, but trying to see if you can follow it, observing the breath right here. Using your breath as an anchor to the present moment. Staying in your mindfulness practice. Following your breath as it comes in, as it goes out. Anchoring to that, like a boat that's anchored in the waves. And when your mind wanders, as it will, bring it back to your anchor again and again, 100 times, 1,000 times. That's what being mindfulness is. And as you notice your mind wandering, telling stories, hashing out things that have passed, that's a moment of mindfulness. Come on back to your breath again and again. As your mind runs away with stories, moves on to planning, it can be helpful to label it. Oh, remembering, remembering. Oh, I was planning, planning. Storytelling, storytelling. Creating or worrying. So it can be helpful to label it. Sometimes it kind of takes the power away from that. And don't worry, if it's important, it's going to come back to you later. But you can use the labeling if you like it. And then after you label it, come on back to your anchor or your breath. And now, as best you can, experiment with changing that anchor from your breath to the sounds that are around you. These could be sounds in your room, in your home, outside. These could be sounds that are close by, maybe even inside you. These could be sounds that are far away. They can be more pleasant sounds and less pleasant sounds, like sounds of birds might be more pleasant to you. The sounds of a garbage truck might be least or less pleasurable to hear. Just noticing the sounds. You don't have to think much about them. You don't have to figure out what they are. Because then your mind's going out of the present moment. Just noticing sounds. You can even say, listening, listening, and come back and coming back to this present moment and just the soundscapes, which are the sounds around you. Sound is the perfect object for mindfulness. It's a wonderful anchor because we only hear sounds that are here in our present moment. We don't hear sounds of the past. We don't hear sounds yet of the future. The sounds bring us to the moment. So you might hear sounds of a computer humming, or refrigerator humming, or someone cooking, or playing outside, or doing yard work. You could hear children laughing, or people laughing, people working, pets. What is being heard in the moment where you are? And there's no need to identify the sound, just noticing the power of the sound coming into your present moment, observing the sounds of each moment. Notice what your mind is doing right now. Is it planning for something in the future? Is it bouncing around, remembering things of the past? Bring it back to the moment, into the sounds that you might hear right where you are. Just noticing where your mind goes during these silent moments, and gently and with kindness and love, bring it back to the sounds that are here now, back to the soundscape that's all around you. And there's no need to reach out for sounds. In fact, if you're using sound for an anchor, you can sit back in your chair if you're sitting back and if you're sitting back into a position of receptivity instead of leaning forward trying to reach out for sounds, sitting back in a position of receptivity and allowing the sounds to come to you, because there's nothing you need to do but staying here in the present moment, allowing the sounds to come to you. Opening your ears and letting the soundscape flow. You might notice some sounds are far away, some are close to you. Besides my voice, you might hear my other sounds that are in my environment. So just trying to be as receptive as possible to the sounds and the soundscape that is around you, right here, right now. Perhaps you're repeatedly distracted by another sensation or even loud sounds. And so that's where I think labeling can come in can be very great. So, like an itching, you could say, oh, label that itching, itching, and see if you can sit with it for a moment without doing anything. And what happens? Maybe it goes away. Maybe it gets stronger. If need be, after you sit there and you notice discomfort and you need to scratch, then you mindfully do the scratching of the itch. If it's a sound that comes by and it's loud and you find yourself with emotions coming up, like anger at that it's disrupting your mindfulness, or anger at where the noise is coming from, you just go, you just can name the emotion if you like, and then come back to the sounds in the room and try to let those emotions go. Something that can help with those emotions too is to notice where you're feeling them in the body. So if there's a sound, you're like, oh, anger, anger, and it makes you angry. And so you label it. You could also then say, oh, where am I feeling this in the body right now? Because that's still bringing you into the moment and then letting it go from there. It's another reason why I think playing with sound and experimenting with sounds as an anchor can be very helpful, because there's always going to be sounds around. Well, often when you're practicing your mindfulness and you don't want to get caught up in them, If you're using another anchor like breath or body points and you have a sound that you feel like takes you out of your mindfulness, you just go listening, listening, and come on back to your anchor. But now with using sounds as an anchor, you can label it on what it is and just come back to the whole soundscape around you. And now shifting once again, moving attention away from the sounds and back to your breath. Breathing in, breathing out. Resting in the observations of your own good breath and your own good company. And when you notice your mind wandering, doing what it will, doing what it's made to, a moment of mindfulness, bring it back to your anchor again and again and again. And now, practice for another minute here. And at the end, I'm going to ring a bell 3 times, and you can follow each sound, each bell sound out. Thank you for your practice.